Thailand is full of so many people and stories, and today we hear from a beautiful family that have been carving out a place of their own out in the nature, growing their own food, homeschooling their children, but whose dreams were shattered by circumstances out of their control. Wade and his lovely family are going to be showing us around his farm that he built and talking about why he built it. And we're also going to be visiting my friend Chef Martin at Taste in Yamu. He's going to be cooking us up some lion's mane. So thanks for joining us today, guys, and let's get on with the vlog. In my effort to bring stories from around Thailand and prices of land for you and stories about people building their houses on different plots of land across the country, this story today we're going to be talking to Wade, and his story is really interesting. I think you're going to really enjoy it. We're going to show you around his little plot of land, we're going to show you around his farm, and we have a little team helping out with this filming, so I won't have to hold the camera the whole way. Really, I just want to give you an idea of what he's tried to do here, what he's built, why he built it, and what basically has gone wrong. And unfortunately, seriously wrong. But we're going to get into that story now, and you're going to see. This is a fun one.
Well, I came here to start a hotel, actually. I was looking to start a business about 10 years ago, and it wasn't working out for me in Canada, so I tried my luck in Thailand, and a Canadian guy actually sold me a small guest house in Patong. And a couple years after running that, I meet my wife, and we started a property management company, and we built that up. And then COVID hit.
She's here, by the way, your wife, right?
Right. And my children.
There they are, beautiful.
So anyways, it was just getting good. The business was just going good. And then 2020 came, and the business went to nothing really quickly. And so we just stayed at home. They closed the beaches, they closed the malls. It's like, what do you do with, we have a 2-year-old at the time? And actually, my son, Lawrence, one way we stayed entertained was we took jackfruit seeds and we started, sprouting plants, and I could see how much he liked it.
Is it your home?
Yeah, in Patong, right? A townhouse, like no yard, nothing. And I saw how much he liked it, and I said, well, this is what we need to do. As soon as we can leave Patong, which we weren't allowed to do at that time, we said we need to go somewhere with a yard because we need to entertain our son at that time. The beaches were closed, the malls were closed, everything's closed, right? And we had a dog as well. And so that's what we did. We just waited to be able to leave Patong, and we found this place. Yeah.
And in your plan, very similar to me, like when COVID hit, I thought, I was in a corporate job at the time too, and I thought this is the end.
For sure.
I was like, these are the end of days. We need to be growing our own food. We need to live off the land. We're going back to the old ways. I think in our discussion, you said you had a very similar idea around that time. Is that what you
Sure.
thinking behind it? Or?
Yeah, basically, as a father, when you in Patong, it was hard even to get fruits and vegetables, like for a few days there, like a week. It wasn't like you could eat, but I felt very vulnerable. I was like, oh wow, like we're very close to being screwed here, So I was like, next time we need to be more prepared,
Yep.
And that's definitely when it clicked for me, for sure. The money's going, food's going. It was like, I'm not doing a good job here.
You tell us about this land. How much land are you're leasing this, right? How much land are you leasing? Was it expensive? Did you have to sign a long contract or?
Yeah, so I signed a 3-year rent. If you go more than that, it becomes a lease, and then you need to sign it at the land office and stuff. So I didn't get into that, but just to where my house is, to like the road there and all of this. Yeah, we just wanted to try our luck. It's very rare to get a piece this big.
Is it one rye or?
So the owner's whole property is about, like, I think it's 8 rye to the back, and then maybe this is just like 2 ryes at the front, maybe 1.5. I don't know exactly.
And what did you get use of? The two rye? Or
yeah.
You got use of the 2 rye?
Yeah, and I was using a bit more too, but then it all got, yeah.
And did you look at any other places as well, or just this one?
No,
and
just this.
Around this area, because Phuket's expensive.
Sure.
So to buy land, you're in property management, it's expensive.
For sure.
Yeah. Like around this area, what would be like a buy price or a rental price? You know, just an average.
For the land, or?
Yeah.
I think like maybe 30,000 a month for a rye or something like that. And this house, when we got it during COVID, the house was 12,000 and the land was an extra 3,000. Like the owner was just, as a joke, it was like, oh, you want a foreigner, a Farang wants land? Like here, 3,000 more a month. Like do whatever you want with it, you know?
That's a good deal too, no?
Yeah.
The house was already on the land.
Yeah.
But some of this stuff that you're going to show us in a minute wasn't, right? Just the bits of.
Oh yeah, it was like scorched earth.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
So there was no trees here, none of the banana trees and stuff, or?
No, there was this tree.
Yep.
And that's it. Yeah.
And that's it.
That's it. Yeah.
Let's have a walk around, and you can just show us the place. During the COVID time, all of this was set up like a farm, but in the story which we're going to tell today, it's no longer an operating farm. You came in here, you worked the land, you planted a lot of banana trees, you set up a production farm to live through COVID, but all that's kind of fallen apart, and we're going to get to why.
Yeah, why? I like my long-term plan. Like I like to eat fruits, right? So we planted like lots of mangoes. Like this is a mango. It's still doing fine. It's just kind of grown over because I stopped taking care because I realized we're not going to be here enough to eat these things.
Yeah.
But this is an avocado tree that I planted from seed.
At the farm too.
Yeah. So I think you need more than one of these so they can propagate each other. I just went crazy when I first started. There's another mango tree here. Like who plants a mango right beside of an avocado like that? And then what I did was this ground was like rock solid. They had laid like rocks, so you could use it as like a driveway or something. But I wanted like food right next to my house, so I had to be in here like just jackhammering it away, you know. And it was like, looking back on it, it was probably too much work for the reward. You know, I should have planted it further away. In the future, you know, if I'm to do this again, I'm gonna have a house that opens from like all sides, and so you can have the garden like nearby your house.
Surrounding.
Yeah, because when you have to walk further away, now your children don't want to come. Now it's further away. Now it's more work to get to it, you know?
Yeah, and you're in the kitchen cooking, right? You want the vegetables.
Right.
And isn't you a fruit-based diet? Don't you live on a fruit-based diet? Or?
Yeah.
Is it all fruit, 100%, or is it just like 80%? Or?
For me, it's mostly fruits, yeah.
How long have you been doing that?
Like since 2017.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I'm taking. Yeah, I just started. Like I got a home gym, and I just started taking some protein powder. But I can feel like this stuff doesn't make me feel very good. It's plant based, but it's like.
And then this is another house.
Yeah.
Behind here.
So, I actually put my. I had a helper on the farm for a long time. He was a former employee of mine at the hotel that I had in Patong, and then. He called me from Burma, and he's like, boss, I want to come back because a civil war broke out in Burma, right? Plus COVID, so they're in really bad shape. You know, before COVID, a lot of my Burmese staff went back to start businesses because it was like the next great country, right?
Yeah.
And then this civil war broke out. So this guy called me. He's like, boss, you have a job for me. He called me during COVID. I'm like, I don't have a job for you. Like, it's COVID times. He's like, just let me work for free for like 2 years. Just give me like rice to eat and a place to stay. So I was like, why don't I put him in here? Because I rented this place. So he walked through the jungles of Burma, between Burma and Thailand. He came here with like a broken arm because he fell down like the mountain when he was climbing. Anyways, he helped with a lot of it. In this little room is where I tried to do my cannabis grow when it was still like not legalized. So I don't know if you want to put that
away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why I built this hedge. But
to hide.
Yeah. Because actually, like, I was constantly going in and out of the room, and there's some neighbors way over there.
Yep.
And they noticed like some Farangs doing something weird in that room, and they started spying on me for a while. So it was like it got a little bit heated.
A bit paranoid, bro. They sure you weren't just smoking.
And then it got legalized. It was all good.
Just before we hear the end of Wade's story and what's happened to his beautiful family here and his beautiful farm, we've got a treat for you. I found out that they grow lion's mane mushrooms very close to here. So we're going to go and take a look, pick some up, and we're going to go to my friend Chef Martin, who has agreed to cook them up in a little 3 or 4 minute recipe for you. So I'm really excited about this. You know how much I love mushrooms, you know how much I love lion's mane. To see some real ones and to get them cooked up, this is exciting. So what we're going to be cooking today is this beautiful lion's mane mushroom, fresh. You know, a lot of people put a lot of time and effort into growing this beautiful mushroom, and look how delicate it is. So many teeth. And I'm excited to see what Martin whips up in his recipe using lion's mane.
Hello everybody, I'm Martin from Taste Restaurant. Today we're going to be cooking some lion's mane mushroom with a really simple teriyaki glaze. It's really only 3 ingredients. We have soy sauce, we have pineapple juice, and we have mirin. Equal parts. Mix that in a pan. We're adding a little bit of chopped ginger, and we're gonna let that reduce.
Lovely. So a huge thank you to Chef Martin at Taste for cooking up that beautiful lion's mane mushroom for us. It was absolutely delicious. And if you want to get hold of some lion's mane yourself, 10:1 extract ratio, full fruiting body lion's mane mushroom, available at the moment only in Thailand. Click the link in the description, click the collect button, available on Lazada with a big discount for you.
So I guess then that's a good segue to kind of get into what's gone wrong here, what's happened.
Sure.
Because you know, you've told me your story already, but maybe you could tell people what had happened, what broke the dream here.
Yeah, it was just, well, they want to develop the property, you know, the land prices are getting so expensive in Phuket, and everybody wants to move here. So they just build villas just like everybody else is doing, you know, like there's no money in growing cassava or mangoes, not in Phuket, yeah? And so, you know, construction, you know how they do construction here, it's pretty messy, and they bring in their own camps and everybody lives on the property. So, you know, they're kind of encroaching on the space a little bit.
Well,
Like-
just a little bit, dude. Like,
Yeah.
this is the first time I've been here too, and from there I'm thinking, oh, a nice fruit farm, but then completely surrounding you
Yeah.
is like development property, and then this what we'll take a look at in a second.
Yeah.
The work, I mean, it's not the Burmese guys' fault. They're just working.
Oh yeah, of course.
You know,
Yeah.
for the company, but you're like completely surrounded. I'm just thinking to myself, if that happened after all of the hard work that we put in at our place, and the viewers know this already, you know that the hard work that's been put in there, years of graft and cuts and doing what you've obviously done here, and then somebody comes and builds around you, that's heartbreaking. I mean, do you feel that way, or are you kind of, because you lease the land, it's
I was kind of,
free, or?
yeah, I was kind of prepared for it. I've seen in Phuket so much, like the changes that happen so fast. So, but you know, I looked at it like, this isn't my property. I don't own it. This is all kind of like just learning experience, and I learned so much.
Phase one.
Yeah, I learned so much from it, you know. So I'm super grateful for that, and like, so I have no like. He rented it, the whole place, for 3,000 baht. Like, what do you expect to be able to own it after that? It's like, no.
It's physically rewarding as well when you live this lifestyle. Like, what I've noticed in myself is my far more muscular and healthier,
Sure.
feeling healthier, working in the sun than when I was in an office
For sure.
job, you know, and it's a sedentary lifestyle. So you've kind of got a good 2 years, 3 years workout in it, and a very healthy preparation for hopefully phase 2, right?
Yeah. So good for the kids, you know. He knows how to do everything,
Yeah.
fix things. Like,
Yeah, same my little boy, like they learn so much living this kind of lifestyle, you know.
even he knows all the plants.
He's got a job on my farm.
Yeah.
He's older.
And like, we don't have a TV in the house. We don't let him use the phones or nothing. So like, he totally entertains himself.
So this will be an insight for you that have not spent much time in Thailand. You don't know it very well. You've never been around construction. The Thais do it in a way where they bring in cheap labor, with no better word to say it, and they'll have them actually living on site day and night and working. It's a hard job too, and low pay, and here it is. They usually build their own places to stay as well, which is interesting in itself. Like the speed at which they pop these things up is amazing.
But this is how my yard looked when I first came here. It looked like this.
Like this, yeah.
Yeah.
So you can see that they built some houses on here as well. These are quite cheap houses. You're probably looking for about $1 million baht, under $1 million. But it looks like they've been stopped halfway. Will they be developing this land, Wade? Or
I think that's in the plan.
everything's going to be developed? Because they won't want a nice pool villas next to the old Thai houses, yeah.
I think if they're going to be able to sell like 500, 600 square meters for 20, 30 million baht, they're going to do it.
I'll take it.
I mean,
Yep.
so right now they just have an office. It's not a show unit, just an office, to show you the pictures.
So you can see that his whole place has been surrounded by materials, an office, diggers, Burmese workers. It's just become a whole construction site. I guess it's a good thing that the landlord is giving you lots of notice. It's a strange way to give you notice.
Sure.
It's not official notice, but it's kind of like, oh, we're doing something here.
That's the Thai way, yeah.
But I have to say, Wade, I really like the way you're taking it,
Yeah.
because I don't think I'd be quite as relaxed or cool about it as you, and you seem very cool about it.
Have to be.
So what's the plan for the future then? Are you planning to get started straight away on a new project, or do you think you'd rent somewhere first and take a chill on this whole
I think
stuff?
yeah, one of the things I learned was, these fruit trees that I won't want to have on my property, and I looked at properties, is they take a long time to grow, right? So I would like to buy some land, ideally right now if I could afford it, and go plant all these trees now, so then I could move there and they would be mature trees.
Yeah.
So that would be ideal, but land that has mature trees on it is a lot more expensive.
And you may look at Phang or an area off Phuket because...
Yeah, or northern Phuket or what, but there's a lot of options.
But you kind of have like a time restraint in a way, because it looks like this is like really getting underway now. So do you think you're going to like a temporary rental first, or?
No, I think they got to build all these first, and we're just going to live in a construction site for probably a couple more years at least, 3 more years, I would say.
Oh, you think so? That long?
I think so.
Because I was looking around, I was thinking probably about another 2 weeks at the rate that they build.
No, I think it's going to take them a while. I don't even think they've sold anything yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
Well, we'll see though. Who knows?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for sharing your story with me today, Wade.
Thank you.
I appreciate it. We've got a lot in common. Certainly very similar visions. I'm not on the fruit diet that Wade's on, but I may try it. I think this is a bit of a lesson for you. So if you are thinking about coming to Thailand and you are going to do something like this, even if it's on rented land, be careful that you know what's going to happen with the land in the future. Obviously, Wade had a clue already. He kind of knew it was going to be up within a few years. But if you're taking a long-term lease for 10 years or whatnot, this goes for barley as well, be sure you know what's going to happen around the land. This is a lesson. And also, I think this is quite reflective of how expensive Phuket land is in comparison to where I am in Buriram. Like, you're talking about 200,000 baht a rai, and that's quite an expensive price. I've seen it as low as 70,000 baht a rai. Whereas here in Phuket on the mainland, I mean, you're in property rental. The land is...
To buy the land, it would be like, I would hear like around 9-10 million baht a rai.
9-10 million baht a rai. So it's something to factor in. Of course, there's some more economic opportunities in Phuket, things for making income, working, starting a business. It's a tourist island, of course, so you can see that there could be some economic potential here. But if you don't need that economic potential, maybe you want to go rural like we are, where the land is cheap, it's cheap to build, and overall the risk is going to be less. I don't know, it's up to you. If you can stand the rural lifestyle like I can, and I think Wade probably could. I think you do well in rural. If you can stomach it, then go the rural route.
Oh, I ain't gonna live like this no more. Most my life's been waging war. Till I found peace, I could've swore. What she did shook me to the core, and I ain't gonna live like that no more. Well, I ain't gonna live like this no more. Trouble comes when the barmaid pours another for a man who should have found the door. Oh, when I get going, you can hear me roar, and I know I can't live like this no more.